All right. So, Bambu Lab has released their A1 Mini, and they have opened the floodgates for all the videos coming out today, right? And a lot of these videos, they're coming from the usual suspects, right? All the main YouTubers, creators that are fortunate enough to be able to test a beta unit, right? They're all coming out with their videos. So kudos for keeping this secret up until now, and kudos for launching the product. So I think I was on the right track with some of my predictions, right, on a previous video, and I was mentioning talking about it being possibly a bed slinger, specifically a mini, and I think I was right on the money when I was talking about their original 5 goals, right? Looking at those 5 goals, of course, those were their initial goals when they started the company, right? And of course, you know, as the company grows, your goals will change and your paradigms will change, right? And a lot of times, you know, technology changes and the marketplace changes, right? And this is a perfect example of that. So I'll have to say, you know, I am not sponsored or affiliated in any way with Bambu Lab or just about anybody, but so I don't get any beta units to play with and experiment with and review, and I do get some finished products every now and then to review, but I'm not fortunate enough to be able to get any beta units at this time. So let's take a look at the product, and we can run through as we scroll down the web page. So keep in mind when I'm going through this, keep in mind I am a mechanical engineer. I do have an MBA. I have launched many products myself. I've contributed to 20 plus US patents, won a lot of design and engineering awards, and have even started a few companies in my time. So hopefully when I'm giving my comments and whatever as we scroll through this, it will mean something to you. These are just my own personal assessment, so, in my opinions, but let's get started. Well, let's look at the specs first. So if we scroll down, you can see the body has a 180 by 180 by 180 build volume, so it's a little smaller than the previous X1 and P1 series. It is an all-metal hot end, has a stainless steel nozzle. I wonder if it's a hardened steel as an option. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute when we look at accessories and stuff. Max hot end temperature 300 C. That's to be expected, about the same as before. Scanning on down. Max speed 500 millimeters per second. That is pretty fast for a bed slinger, right? Ideal for PLA, PETG. So I wonder, they're saying the ABS, ASA, carbon fiber stuff is not recommended. Well, I wonder if they have the option to switch over to a hardened steel nozzle, and so that you can print off carbon fiber and stuff. And you know, sooner or later, probably sooner, there are going to be some enclosures made to make it suitable for ABS and ASA, right? Because of all the fumes and whatnot. So I wonder if that's going to be in the future, if as long as we can get a hardened steel nozzle and an aftermarket enclosure for it. But we'll see. It does have a monitoring camera up to 1080p. Yeah, so yeah, everything's there, so not bad. So let's go over to the main page here, and you see the A1 Mini. When you start scrolling down, there it is. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like the way they did that with their website. Yeah, it's a pretty good looking unit, isn't it? It is a Mini. You can see the filament going into it. and the AMS Lite right beside it. So it's a nice looking little printer, right? Well, let's scroll on down. Yeah, obviously, I mean, they're doing some smaller parts and gluing everything together. And looking at the time involved, those are some pretty quick prints. And there's the overview. Multicolor printing for everyone. A plug and play, so it's easy to set up. Full auto calibration, auto bed leveling and auto Z offset, auto flow dynamics, auto belt tensioning, that's pretty cool. Auto filament loading, alright. And active flow rate compensation, print smooth and everything. So they're saying it utilizes a high resolution eddy current sensor to measure the pressure in the nozzle in real time. Our algorithm actively compensates the flow rate according to the reading to extrude with accuracy. So this is while it's printing in real time. This is something actually I would like to see on the X1 and the P1. Because with this, it's running in real time. And it's actively compensating the flow rate. With the X1 and the P1 series, it's still a manual. They call it an auto, but it's really a hybrid. There's still some manual calibrations going on. But with this is what I wanted to see. So whatever filament you're putting in there, it is actively compensating while you're printing. So that's the automation I'd like to see on everything. Bed slinger with Core XY speed and quality. So yes, they're pretty fast for a bed slinger, right? And they're really marketing up the speed of this bench slinger. 14 minutes. In some others I've seen a 16-minute, but still that's fast. So the intuitive UI, so that is great. I wanted to see a touchscreen. Yes, a touchscreen. I was worried that it was going to be something like on the P1 series, where it's just that control panel on there. But this, it's very small. It's a very small touch screen, but it looks to be pretty intuitive to use, right? So that's very good to see. Worry-free printing. Okay. Maker World One Quick Away Printing. So with this, using the Bambu Handy app, you can snag some files right away and go straight to the printer. And that's their new Maker World bit. I'm sure we've all heard of it, but I'm going to skip that for now. I'm not going to cover that in detail. Active motor noise canceling. So this is huge. This is interesting. It's actually pretty huge. So between the active motor noise canceling and silent mode, you can bring it down to 48. I think I've seen one of the first videos, and it was showing at 51 or so, or 52, but I don't think it was in silent mode. It was just the active motor noise canceling, which is fantastic. So it's like noise canceling headphones, right? It detects whatever noise and quiets it down. I mean, and it's a big deal, because like on some of the previous printers, especially I've had numerous Ender 3 Pros, and it was a big deal. I mean, going to to using silent stepper drivers and silent fans. I mean, there were big upgrades to try to silence the printer. And they are fairly quiet now. But and the silence, I mean, it's a must-have, especially with these non-enclosed printers, these bed slingers that have no enclosure. I mean, they can get pretty noisy. Because, for example, I mean, look at this this X1 carbon, and you can see how much louder it is, even with the door closed, and then how loud it gets when you open the door. So that active motor noise canceling is pretty cool. And the quick swap nozzles. Now this is a pretty cool feature. So you keep scrolling down and there it is. It shows it popping out. So it's a toolless swap, and it looks to be very, very easy. You don't even have to worry about cables. You know, you just pop that out and pop it back in. And you can see it's held by those little clips right there, right? Now I hope these clips are pretty sturdy. Over time, yeah, they might get bent out of shape or whatever, but hopefully they're easy to replace if necessary, even if you have to replace the clips. But so although you have to swap the entire hot end instead of just a nozzle tip, but the hot end, it's usually they're fairly inexpensive, so you can keep a few spares, and for the ease of popping in and out, it's well worth it. That's a pretty cool feature. So privacy. Working in LAN mode instead of using the cloud. For some guys, this is huge. Would much rather operate in LAN mode, but now I'm curious, can you still operate the app, the Handy app? Can it still operate even if you're in LAN mode? And does the camera still monitor the print when you're in LAN mode? I hope so, because with the X1 Carbon and P1 series, it has the same option of going into LAN mode, but as of this video, the LAN mode, it does not allow you to use the Handy app, and the camera is disabled. So there's functions in the printer that are disabled just because I want to use in LAN mode. But if it gets to the point, and I hope it does, and actually I almost demand that to get those things working in LAN mode, because that kind of bothers me. I'm paying that much for a full printer, but just because I don't want to use their cloud, they're disabling a lot of features. That's not right. But we'll see. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's different on this A1. I hope it is. So, and a camera lens cover. I guess that's more on the privacy end, but why are you covering up the camera? I guess if you really want to hide something, but that's the whole deal. If you're in the cloud, you're not exactly hiding everything either, right? But let's see. Reliability, yes, it's an all-metal frame, and they are using rails. That's good to see, and it makes it, yeah. I like to see the rails up here. It looks to be a pretty good, sturdy unit. That's pretty cool. And all this we went through. Mystery box. Well, let's go through and look at some of the accessories. So we'll switch over here. Here's the A1 accessories, and Yeah, it looks like they're fully loaded. And that's good to see. I do like the fact that Bambu Lab, they are always ready with all the accessories at the time of the main product launch, right? So for the customer, there's no waiting for extra parts. And for Bambu Lab, I mean, it's an immediate add-on sales, and that's a huge plus. So, and the pricing, they're decent. You know, they're not trying to gouge us on proprietary parts, right? So you can get the whole 4 millimeter nozzle, hot end with a nozzle, $9.95, $9.99, and that's pretty decent, right? And I'm sure they will last quite a long time. But these are, let's see, let's take a look at this one. Oh, they are. Okay, you can get hardened steel at $11.99. That's good to see, because I would much rather use hardened steel and expand your filament up to use carbon fiber, right? Yeah, so that's good to see. Let's go down to the very end. They even have the parts for the AMS Lite. So, you know, that's one thing I have not seen. I have not seen that AMS Lite available by itself, right? So I'm assuming right now you just have to let's see, there's the Bambu Lab 549. Yeah, there's the A1 Mini by itself, but it's not available right now. Not available. Mega combo, so everything is not available right now. Oh well. So let's take a closer look at the pricing here. So we're looking at the A1 Mini, and it is $299. So that's not a bad price point, right? I know it's small, but it's feature rich, and if it's that fast and hopefully very accurate, and I don't know how you're going to feed filament into this without that AMS Lite. Is it just a Bowden tube? Do you have to have your own spool, stand, adapter, whatever, and then feeding down into the extruder? Yeah, I don't know. But $299 is not bad. $300. The A1 Mini combo, and that's with the AMS Lite for $549. So that's not bad. So roughly $160 for this AMS Lite. And what is the Mega Combo? Oh, Mega Combo. So it includes some accessory add-ons. So that's pretty cool. And that's not bad. So $509 you can be set up with the whole shebang. The printer, the AMS Lite, and common accessories that you'll need, right? So that's pretty good. And I definitely don't see any provision for, you know, buying the AMS Lite by itself. But I guess there would be no need for that. I mean, it's not like you can use it on any other printer. It's got to be used on the A1 Mini, right? So my question is, but I wonder if you buy it separate, if they have the option where you can start daisy chaining these just like they did with the regular AMS, right? So you can have up to 8 spools of different colors, but you can see how it's all fed directly into this extruder. There's only provisions for 4. So if they ever planned on doing something like that, it would have to be, yeah, 8 strands to manage there. But we'll see, you know. So overall, I think I'm going to like this printer. You know, looks like a pretty well made, a nice printer. It wasn't exactly what I'm in the market for, but there's a huge market for those, and I hope they reach their target market, because it's going to be one of the most advanced mini bed slingers out there, right? Especially with that AMS Lite added to it. Now, some of the other minis that are out there, sure, they have their own, what is it called? They're calling it an input shaper, which basically, you know, they're trying to offset the vibrations and whatnot and help speed up the prints. And it's, you know, kudos for that. I think it's what the Prusa Mini, they've come out with their input shaper already. And what is it, Creality? They have their mini. Well, actually, for any of their bed slingers, it could be an Ender or whatever. But to help them along, you can use that sonic pad that they have, and it uses Clipper to manage the printers, and up to 4 printers. So it helps speed everything up, and you can hook it up to like 4 different printers, right? So this one sonic pad, which are going for about, you know what, 100 to 140. I've seen it down right now as low as like under $110, 105 or something like that. I forget what it is. So it is an add-on, but if you have 4 printers you're hooking that up to, you know, $25 per printer is not a bad upgrade, right? Yeah, so there's a lot of printers that are catching up to that, right? But so far that A1 Mini, it does everything like automatically, right? It's fantastic. It prints fast, prints silent, plus you have the option for 4 different colors. And there's no other option for that. If you're looking for, you know, colored prints on a Mini, well, that's the way it is. That's what you got. Plus, now this is something that's going to be wide open for third-party add-ons, right? And off the top of my head, I can see an enclosure being built to enclose that thing. And what else? Like a poop chute. I didn't see anything like that at all. So where's it going to spit it out? So far, it's just going to be spitting it out where that print. But the bed is moving back and forth, right? So where's it going to go? Yeah, it's just going to be wide open for making accessories for it. And who knows? I might design and print off some of my own. But we'll see. Yeah, so I would love to cover this A1 Mini and the AMS Lite in more detail, more hands-on, but I got to get my hands on one first, right? So, but we'll see. So I guess that is it for this video, and as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next video, and have fun with that new A1 Mini.